Ladies and gentlemen, good day. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sepriana from Dell Institute of Technology. I'm here to present our research paper entitled Comparison of C 4.5 and chart or classification and regression tree algorithm in classification of occupation for fresh graduate. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer and all sponsors to provide me with an opportunity to present this paper. And so let me start this presentation. Research background of this research is there are several knowledge that can be obtained from alumni data and their field of work data, one of which is the classification of alumni field of work. And there is still many students not being able to choose and determine their field of work after graduating from college. The next section is research purpose. In this research is produce and analyze classification model using C 4.5 and chart algorithm and determine the best classification between C 4.5 and chart algorithm method for the case under study. Research methodology section 1 is research flowchart. The initial stage in this research is to formulate the problem based on the research background. After that, then the scope of the research is determined. The stage is conducting a literature study on the use of the data mining in previous research and the same study case. In addition, an analysis of the data attribute needed for the classification process was carried out. The next stage is data collection. Its data collected is used as the candidate feature and the initial data processing is carried out. This stage will produce an alumni dataset that will be used in research. After that, the data mining process is carried out by utilizing the C 4.5 and chart algorithm to build a classification model. In each model, an evaluation and analysis of the classification result will be carried out. The aim is to find out which model has the highest level of accuracy. And the last stage is to build a prototype of job classification using an algorithm model that has the best level of accuracy. Research methodology section 2 is algorithms classification step flowchart. The explanation of the step in the flowchart above is as follows. 1. Preparing experimental variation, where there will be 3 experimental variations, namely experiments on data with 8, 3, and 2 target class categories. 2. Preprocessing data. At this stage, the encoding process will be carried out using the one-hot encoding method. 3. Split the dataset. The job field dataset based on alumni data is divided into training data and testing data using holdout technique, where training data is used to generate models and testing data to test the resulting models. Comparison of training data and testing data use is 80 to 20. Point 4, smarter implementation will be carried out on the training data to balance the amount of data in each class. Then the modeling was carried twice, namely using the initial training data and using the data from the smarter implementation. Point 5, performs hyperparameter tuning using the grid search method to find the most optimal combination of parameters in the 2 models. Point 6, performs the classification stage on the test data using the decision tree model that has been performed. An evaluation will be carried out to find the accuracy of the resulting model. And the last, if there are still variation of the experiment to be carried out, the process is returned to the initial stage to carry out the experiment. And if all variation of the experiment have been carried out, the experiment is completed. The next section is result of C4.5 algorithm implementation. The following table show the accuracy of each model generated in each experiment with the C4.5 algorithm. We can see the reducing the number of classification classes can increase the accuracy of the model significantly. With the highest accuracy achieved is 75%. In experiment with two categories of field of word target classes. We can also see the application of research to find the best hyperparameters can produce a model with better accuracy, especially in the experiment of 8 target class categories. Result of chart algorithm implementation. We can see in our screen of table result of chart implementation is experiment name, accuracy with early modeling, accuracy with the best hyperparameter, accuracy with smoother modeling, and accuracy with the best parameter smoothing. We can see the highest accuracy is 77% in experiment 2 category with the best parameter experiment smoothing. The next section is comparison of algorithm accuracy. We can see in our screen of table result comparison of algorithm accuracy and the comparison of the accuracy implementation C4.5 algorithm and chart algorithm, which has the highest accuracy, namely the chart algorithm with an accuracy of 77% in experiment 2 with the best parameter smoothing. Based on the summary table of the highest accuracy, it can be concluded that the chart algorithm is the best algorithm in classifying alumni occupation in this study. The highest accuracy obtained is 77%, namely in the experiment of 2 categories of work. In the last part, the conclusion obtained are 1. This research has implemented the C4.5 algorithm to classify field of work on 3 types of experiments, namely 8 categories of work with 42% accuracy, 3 categories of work with 58% accuracy, and 2 categories of work with 75% accuracy. This research has implemented the chart algorithm to classify field of work on 3 types of experiment, namely 8 categories of work with 43% accuracy, 3 categories of work with 61% accuracy, and 2 categories of work with 77% accuracy. Conclusion number 3, the best algorithm for classifying field of work based on alumni data from the 2 algorithms used is the chart algorithm because of the highest accuracy of the model produced in the 3 experiment is better than the highest accuracy of the model generated by the C4.5 algorithm. That's all for our presentation today, and thank you so much for your attention.